Hi, I'm Danny Poulos with Shining Stars in South Florida Business. Our special guest today is Candy Cohn. She's the owner of Yaffa Senior Services, and it's a resource for people who are getting older and their families and how to cope with that and what services are available. I learned a lot just chatting with her already, so you're in for a real treat here today. So, Candy, first tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you got into this, and then we'll dive right into senior services.
Okay. I got into this business after many years in healthcare marketing. My parents had gotten to that point where I needed to figure out what to do. They needed help, and I needed to move them to senior living. And I became so passionate about it and so grateful to the people that helped guide me that I ended up in this field, and now I'm guiding people through the maze of senior living and home health care.
Well, I think it's really a problem that people, as their parents get older or people in their family get older, they don't know really where to turn to. I mean, how many times do your parents get older? You don't get that experience. So this is why I think what Candy does is so important. So tell us the structure of the business. What services are really provided?
Okay. I provide very hands-on personal assistance. I go and meet with people in their homes. I do an assessment. And oftentimes they know if they want home health care or assisted living, but sometimes they're not sure or they need both. So I help them figure that out. And I do an assessment, and then I actually take them on tours of senior living, or I send them home health aides.
So how do you know, what are some of the flags where you might need to start thinking about getting some kind of assistant for a parent or loved one that's getting older? How do you know when to think about it?
One thing that happens a lot where people call me is they'll say, my parents are living alone, they think they can take care of themselves, right, but my mom keeps falling and they keep calling 911. And so when they start falling a lot, that's a big one. When they can no longer drive, that is also a big one because that takes away a lot of their independence and they need help. If they can't dress themselves or bathe themselves and you as the adult child are doing all that, right, you need help.
And I would say that most people probably find, I know with my parents I did find, that they're resistant to say they need any help.
Yes.
They can do it, we can handle this, but I think it's important what you said, those things are signs that you need to start paying attention and maybe at least start gathering the resources so that when the time comes to make a proper decision, you have the information available. So that really takes us right to what you do.
Right.
You're going in to evaluate the situation, right, and explain how that process works.
Okay. So I go into either their home or they might be in the hospital or rehab. I often meet with the elderly people or with the adult children are there too, it varies. Right. And I ask them a lot of questions about what do they need assistance with, what activities of daily living. Can they dress themselves? Can they bathe themselves? Do they still cook? Do they use a walker? Are they in a wheelchair? Then we get into the financial piece, and I try to find out what their finances look like. If they don't have much money, I tell them about resources such as long-term care Medicaid, VA aid and attendance for veterans, and a lot of other resources that the average person doesn't know about for the financial end.
And I think, just again from experience, those things sort of happen slowly, that sort of degradation of the things you can do for yourself. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important what you say, that once you see any of those things, at least bring someone like yourself in and talk about it. So okay, when you can't do this, here's how we can help. When you can't do this, here's how we can help. Don't think by just talking about it that you're committed to all of a sudden sending your parents to a nursing home.
Right.
Right? You got to start someplace because it's a gradual process.
Right.
So let's get right to the different types of healthcare, or I should say, different type of assisted living.
Senior living.
Senior living.
So
I need to learn the verbiage.
We call it senior living communities now. It used to be the nursing home, as you said,
right,
or the home, and I would never send my parents to the home. Well, it's not the home anymore. It's sometimes just magnificent senior living, right, communities that are like resorts.
Right.
So when you can take care of yourself, the top level you move into is independent living. And there you're in an apartment. It's usually a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. And you can bring your car if you are still driving, but
right,
if you don't drive, they have transportation. You get 2 meals a day at these places. You get all the activities you can imagine, all the card games and entertainment, lectures. Some of them bring in professors from the local colleges to give interesting lectures on art history.
So you can still be getting around pretty good.
Yes.
And still benefit from that type of care.
Right.
All right, so what's the next step after
So
that?
the next step, when you need more care, you can either stay in independent and hire a home health aide, or you could move to assisted living. And many communities have both, independent and assisted. In assisted living, there are CNAs, certified nursing assistants, on staff who will manage your medications. They will dress you and bathe you if you need it. If you don't, you pay for what services you need.
Right.
And they can, help you in many other ways.
And there's another level, or probably a couple, but what's the main level after that?
The next level in severity is for memory care. Memory care is for people who have dementia, Alzheimer's. They are often wandering, so this is a locked community. It's usually a section of a community or a separate place. And they get nonstop care because they need that.
Is there a frustration on your part that sometimes you don't hear from someone or a family because they don't know any better until they're already in need of a lot of care and memory care, where if you had gotten to it a little sooner, they might have been very happy with independent living and then assisted?
Right.
You're into that a lot?
Yes, absolutely. So I try to get out into the community and educate people because it's free for people to meet
Right.
with me, and it should be a no-brainer if you know about my services. I don't charge a fee. I get paid a commission like a realtor. I get paid a commission by the senior living communities. And I love to come and talk to people.
It's really perfect for everybody.
Right.
And I think as people get older, it's just a matter of being nervous about
Yes.
not knowing what to do, and being as a child not knowing what to do. You've also got to deal with, I'm sure, technical issues like insurance and who pays for what. So you're balancing someone's finances with also the program available too.
Yes.
I know there's so many people out there that are in this situation that do not know where to turn to, and they try to find someone else going through the same thing. Well, I went through the same thing, and I can tell you who to turn to. Can you tell everybody the easiest way they can reach you? Because I just can't imagine being without this resource.
You can call me. My number is 772-486-4914. And please visit my website, yaffaseniorservices.com. And my email address is on there. And I'm available all the time.
Thanks so much, Andy, for coming in. It's
Thank
great.
you for having me.